Here we have a jigsaw. It's from Erbauer. The model is EJS750 and the power is 750 watts. So it says quick change. That means that the blade itself can be quickly changed from this location without any tool. You just have to rotate an element there and the blade falls out. It's corded and the length of the cord is 3 meters. So there is no battery, it's a wired device. The pendulum motion of the blade, it has 3 speeds, so that can be set from this point. And then this blade is not moving just up and down, but it's moving forward also. So it's like a circular motion for cutting faster but rougher. The cut will not be that smooth. 803,000, so that has to be the motion of the blade. It can blow the air forward so that it will clear the sawdust from the front portion of the blade so that you can see where it will cut. It has LED lamp. The LED is somewhere here. It's pointing downwards in front of the blade. It has an attachment for the vacuum cleaner. That one is, this part is inserted till here. You can remove that one. You have to attach a vacuum cleaner here and it will suck the sawdust from around the blade. And it has a blade with small teeth, and that is for metal. You have 2 more blades for wood, and it has this part for keeping the distance to cut in a straight line. That has to be inserted there and there, and using those 2 screws you can fix it, and then it will cut in a straight line along the edge of the wood. That's the side. So it has the LED. It has the speed adjustment here in the front. It has another button, this one for locking the power button. So you pull this one, and when it's pulled, when it's up, then you press that one and this will be locked. You can push this up and it will unlock that one. Okay, so that's the locking. You have to rotate this portion and then the blade will fall out. So that's the quick release part. It has this one for the pendulum motion, 0, 1, 2 and 3, as is visible there. And it has this one, that's a quick release. You have to pull it out and no tool is needed for moving the base plate to a certain angle, 45 degrees to the left or to the right. So no tool is needed for changing the blade and no tool is needed for rotating that base plate to a certain angle. It has 2 years warranty, 220 volts AC, so European voltage. It can cut wood 120 millimeters diameter, something like that thick, 10 millimeter in metal, 1 centimeter, and I guess that's aluminium, and that is a bit more, 20 millimeters thickness. The same thing on this side also. And what's not mentioned, it has also a case, a plastic carrying case. That is very nice. It's manufactured London, United Kingdom, but it's made in China. And I bought it from Romania. Let's open it. It's sealed in these locations. This has to be closed. And that's the carrying case. It looks like this. It's a plastic box. Erbauer. It has some weight. This is rubber, it's not slippery, that's very nice. So pull this up, this is deformed, oh, it's not in the hole, it's like that. It already came off, so let's take a look. It's just inserted there. The other way, and that's inside the box. And we have some paper, Polish, Dutch, Spanish, French, Romanian, PT, I'm not sure what's that. What, no English? No English. Now that's interesting. Here's the distance keeper thing. 16 centimeters. It has some weight. That's for the vacuum. Where are the blades? I see here something. So this is for metal and 2 blades for wood. It's even drawn there. The wire is pretty soft. So I just measured it and it is really 3 meters in length. 220 volts plug. It looks like this. It has a black part. The black is metal also. There's the angle adjustment. This is a gray metal. I think it's not aluminium. That has to be rotated to release the blade. So let's try one. These are identical here on the base. T shape. So insert it here. You cannot push it in. You have to open it. This is moving up and down. So it should enter around till here, somewhere there. And this one is towards us, this small part. You can lift it up, rotate this one up, and it enters. It has to enter even more, like so. Just release it, and now it's not coming out. There's the LED. It's a circular one, it's not an SMD. That's for keeping the distance from the side. So if you open this and move it forward, then you can rotate the base plate. So you have to move it forward, then it's rotating. If you move it back, then it's locked. That's at 45 degrees. You can lock it. It's not moving. Unlock it. Forward a little bit, rotate it backward and lock it. That's for the pendulum motion. It has a little bit of motion there, to the left and right. That's the label, 750 watts. EJS750 is the model. This is rubber, the black. Even here. Now let's plug it in. The speed is pretty high. So 1 is the lowest, it's making click sounds, and 6 is the highest. This distance is not large enough. And that's good for protection, you cannot easily modify the speed. By the way, this is not adjusting the speed linearly, it's either on or off. Even the lowest speed is pretty high. Look at that movement. This movement I think is 2 centimeters from the most outside point to the most inside point. You can see that here also. I cannot move it with my hand. This travel distance 2 centimeters. and we use it in darkness. To a certain degree, yes. Now let's try to lock it. So pull this one and then push that one. You push it once again and it will unlock it. The same with that one also. So pull it. So you can push either this one or that one. It's a brushed motor. You can see the coil windings inside here maybe. There's something is visible. So it's not brushless. Let's take this blade out. It jumped out by itself. Now this is for the vacuum. It has this small thing there for stopping. Something here. A notch. To remove it, just pull it out. So it's not accepting U-shaped blades, only T-shaped blades. So that's the letter T, or that way, T. So most of the air is exiting here on the side and there on that one, and some of it is exiting somewhere here. A little bit of air is blown to the front and most of it is blown out here. Here is a fan, a centrifugal fan. So this portion of the blade, this vertical one, has to enter till this one, this shiny one. So first open it, and it enters till the teeth. So it enters somewhere till there. It's not coming out easily. Maybe the paint is blocking it a little bit. So once again, this vertical part has to enter here into this shiny part. It's not coming out easily. So it has to enter somehow like this. Till there. There are some scratches. It's not working easily. It enters but it does not exit easily. Can you insert it backwards? Yes, you can. But then the teeth are in contact with that wheel. It uses a brushed motor and the brushes sparks are visible here. So if I turn off the light and start the machine, you can see here the sparks here on the right side. I have a light here, and when I use the machine, that light slightly flickers when I start and when I stop the machine. And the sparks are even brighter on this one. There was a flash. So some kind of back EMF or something similar is being sent through this wire back to the circuitry. And here's the hose of a vacuum cleaner, and there's a problem. As you can see, the diameter is not identical. So if we measure this one, it is 35 millimeters, as is visible here, whereas this one is around 31 millimeter. So around 4 millimeter of difference between the vacuum cleaner and the jigsaw. it's not compatible. My older jigsaw has a halfway compatible opening, so that is 31 mm, but there's a problem. This is at an angle and you cannot insert it deep enough. So this one is not usable there, this one is not usable there. You have to place something around this one to increase the diameter, otherwise it's not okay. Let's compare it a little bit. The button of the old one can be used with one finger, two cannot be placed there, but this one is larger, so you can use it a bit more easily. Okay, another one. The base plate of this one has to be aluminium with some kind of coating. The coating or paint went off, and when I was cutting a white material, I always left marks with this base plate on the white material. So this is black, I'm not sure, maybe the paint will go off of this one. This is not plastic, this is metal, the black one. I'm not sure if this will leave marks also. Another one, both of them have the cable here on the back, so you cannot really put them down like so. Now on this side, if you put the two base plates side to side, then you can see that the older one has the blade lower, but that's just judging by the base plate. If you take in consideration the front part, if we place the front parts in line, then we can see that the blade of the new one, the Erbauer, is much lower. So when you're cutting, you have a smaller distance between the front and the blade, somewhere 1 finger thickness or height distance. But here you have around 2 finger distance between the front and the blade. So that distance. So when you are watching from this angle, when you're cutting, you have to look forward even more, because the blade is even more inside compared to this one. Here it even has a cut. One on the left does not need a cut. The blade of this one is much more towards the front. This has a protector which can be pushed down so that the dust will not come into your eyes. This does not have any protection, so the dust can come towards your eyes. So that's a bad part. The blade mounting is apparently better on this one compared to that one, which requires screws. The old one used a bad blade, it was not cutting well, and I had to push the machine forward with more force, and thus the blade overheated. That heat was transferred to this part, which is now deformed. As you can see, there is space around the left side and around the right side of those screws, and it got deformed. The blade is slightly at an angle. It's a little bit to the left. When I'm cutting, I'm not holding it straight. I always have to put it at an angle, and then it is cutting straight. So better use a very good blade, otherwise it will heat up and it will destroy your machine also. So use a fresh new blade or it will destroy the machine. The heat will be transferred, it will slightly melt and it will deform. As you can see, this part is not straight, but it's bent. Too much heat deformed the metal. By the way, the speed of my old one is much lower on the first speed compared to that one. So that's a lower speed and that's a higher speed. But on this one, this is already a medium speed, and then it goes to a high speed. So this can work at a much lower speed also compared to this one. This is kinda always at a high speed. You can't insert it when the blade is mounted, so you need to remove it. It's not too easy. It's cutting in the plastic. Now it will cut into your fingers. Ouch. The plastic is broken. And it's closed. It's pretty sturdy. The grip is very fine. It's rubber. is pretty long, so it won't get out easily. I mean, not this way, but up.